happen, then we can fund that out of the general fund, just something else in our reserves. And then, if the millage passes, right, then we're still back to kind of where we were, where we're paying most of the police costs out of that special millage and the rest out of the general fund. Or we don't have enough money to keep it going, and at that point, I think we have to make the decision to stop police department. And so our recommendation is, we all thought that we wanted to continue having police department. We're not sure that the voters were saying there's no millage. Some of them might be just saying they don't want to pay more taxes, or just sell it. But the question for us is, how do we afford to have that? Is it, are there other ways that we can subsidize it? There's some follow-up actions that we can do, right, with potential different revenue streams. Schools is one piece, potential resource sharing with another village. For example, Ellsworth is a possibility, but doesn't exist today, right? So our recommendation is that we go forward with a village proposal to fund it, and then the funds, and see if there's other ways that we can continue to add dollars so that we have the ability to fund it here.
Also, another recommendation that we had was probably to get rid of the part-time officer, just to keep what we have, to keep Scott going longer until we get to the mill. Possibly like Don did, consulting with school, so maybe they can pick up some more hours with Scott, school resource officer or something. There's no way that we can fund it. We can fund it till the primary election, but after that, there's no way that we can do it.
Do we know what percentage of voters turned out for that last election?
Less than 20%.
Less than 20%.
150 mail-in ballots and only 110 got returned. So there was 40 ballots that didn't even get sent back. The county sheriff's department is not. You're gonna maybe get somebody here a couple times a day. So. But the campground can't be the cash cow of the police department.
No, it can't. But I'm saying it needs patrol.
Absolutely.
I mean, every summer well, not last summer. Last summer.
Because we patrol. I mean,
Because we
have a-
patrolled it, yeah.
Yeah, but the campground can't afford 40 hours a week.
Yeah.
Scott's sitting down there. Patrol car.
Set up a little satellite office down there in the fishing cleaning area. So there's a lot of moving parts here and a lot of things to consider. And so we're pretty clear that we want to keep the police.
By law, we can raise our general fund if we have to. We don't have to go to a vote of the people with that.
But then even then, it wouldn't be guaranteed to fund the police department because it wouldn't be specially earmarked like a millage would be, correct?
Yes, it'd be up to the village.
But the village council on how to spend that money.
Right.
Kelly, what's the deadline for the election submission?
I believe it's 4 months beforehand. I was Googling a bunch of stuff. Let me Google it real fast. I think it's 3 or 4 months.
So we don't have to make a decision today, but we've got a calendar and get it on now.
Well, I think right now is the time to see what everybody else thinks instead of just putting that offer. And should we pursue the possibility of having our own election?
Standalone in May.
Well, we're asking for money for the police department. You have to pay for a special election in May would be to.
No, just to see.
No, I'm just saying, I don't think that would be a very good thing to show, I encourage everybody to go out and vote every time there's a vote.
Yeah,
I mean, there's villages, there's all kinds of stuff out there.
I voted this last time around, I was going for something.
But, you know, and you look at the vote, and it was what, 50-some percent to 40-some percent?
votes.
You know, and you're gonna have that because you're gonna have so many people say, I'm tired of adding the extra. The school just got extra, I mean, you go down the list of people that have asked, and I get it, that a lot of these things have gone through without financing it. You know, they let things slide, you know.
Well, you had, in November, you had 4 village requests. That's.
Yes. I mean, the school had, there was some rolling up.
Township roads.
I think for those elections too, people are more active, people go to those elections that are voting against those things. We just have to vote on them.
You know, but everything. Just saying, I mean, you know,
The public safety one was the only one that was just village specific, right? Everything else was township, right?
Township and county.
Township.
yeah,
The school had a sinking fund in there too.
yeah, they're,
Well, it is true that, you know, that we're always asking for money. But it's just like running a household. It's expensive and
Cost of things keep going up.
you know, but you also gotta consider a household only brings in so much money.
Yeah.
They aren't buying a car, they aren't going to shops, they're, you know, I
right?
mean, and we qualified for that one water grant. It's because 54% of our community is at an income level that it's kind of ironic that you sit up here and you see the things that you need to fix. You want programs, and it's like everything affect, you know, it affects more than just us.
Right.
And that's what we gotta consider. I mean, so,
And what percentage on homesteaded? Do we know, like how many, because
50,
would it be?
what do you say? I mean, I don't know, you know, without counting.
Well, my thought is that it's worth putting it back on the ballot. Just to see.
Maybe prior to putting out some information about why the, you know, I don't know, the water bill. I don't know, a very condensed version of Valley Michigan.
I don't,
all those numbers, it's something very condensed disclosure, how the police department's paid for, and how all of this and the other reasons, consequences of it, yeah.
and I remember when we first wanted to put it on the ballot, when we started off at 5 mils.
Yeah.
And
We said, no way.
There was no way
No.
that people, well, could we do something with 1.5? You know, something that would be half of what it was. I mean, I don't know if that would,
You're just taking more out of the general fund.
yeah. I'm just saying, you're, just so, it kind of like helpful to the people
Right.
that would want it.
There's also, I don't know what the requirements are, but I know that, that there are ways to be exempted from property tax if, you know, if.
Poverty exemption, you live in a township, and you fill it out.
Bob. His name's Bob. His name's Bob.
Bob.
Or Bob, that's what I'm saying.
Bob.
So looking over at 11, new business, we have A through D. I think
G, the one that we spend the most time on should be the second one, part of that area. says full time plus part-time officer at the top. I think that's probably the best information based on averages, of course, but it's the easiest way to break it down.
Close out new business and then move on.
Anybody on the council have any more questions for Ally? For Con? Thank you, Don. Welcome, thank you. Turning the page, 12A.
So if you were to hold an election in May, it would cost the village about $10,000. So just keep that in mind. You'll find 2 resolutions in your packet. One that May wording, which would be a renewal, compared to an August resolution, which would be a new levy because time lapse of a year. So it's new.
So, Ally May ballot would cost the village approximately $10,000, right?
Yes, that's what Judy at the township told me.
Okay, so that's out.
Yeah, okay. So now we're moving towards August. Approximately to run the police department from March until August, correct?
Yes.
Or did I say
Right.
70?
And then, yeah, but that would be obviously, but.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For right now, we want to approve it.
You looking for a motion or what?
To approve resolution number
Number
9.
Okay, vote number 9.
All right.
Put 8 in there.
So cross off number 8,
Yep. Sorry about that.
9.
Big finger.
Everybody see where I'm at on the council?
Yeah.
I'd like to make a motion to approve ballot language for the police millage review 9 of 2025.
I'll support.
All right, roll call, please.
Patton,
Yes.
Tyrell,
Yes.
Chapman,
Yes.
Tyler,
Yes.
Fox,
Yes.
Shearhart,
Yes.
Drake.
No.
Okay, motion passes. 12B, approved Michigan Pipe and Valve quote for Hanley Cove Lift Station in the amount of $10,000 or $10,780. What's your sewer fund balance, Ellen?
Yeah, sorry, it's in the packet. It's our 590 fund. That would be
146?
sewer. Yep, 146.
All right, so that, we're gonna have to take 10 grand out of that, then, or 11 essentially.
Yep,
All right.
that's where it should come from.
John, is that something that's shot?
Yeah, it's down right now. When I first started Sam bought one, we put a brand new pump in. I think it was about half the price. We've had one or two more go down in there. I've rebuilt them, but the rebuilt ones have not lasted long. I mean, less than 2 years. So, I mean, so I just threw out there, this is the quote for a brand new one at today's prices. Like I said, this is for the handling condos. There's two pumps. We're currently running on one pump. Not high use down there this time of year.
I'll make a motion to approve the Michigan Pipe and Valve for $10,780.
Oh, sorry.
Roll call, please, you're spending some money.
Patton, Shearhart,
Yes.
Drake.
Yes. Turning the page, action item C, increase campground rates for 2026 camping season by $2 for all waterfront and lower campground sites. Brian?
Ally sent me a text today and it's time to, she contacts everybody in January for the reservation season opens in January. Up top of the campground, the bluff in the back, the rates are high enough. Too low, to go from $37 to $39 on the lakefront site, that's very cheap. To go from cheaper than most of them, but we want to stay cheaper so we can keep people coming. So I'll make a motion to increase campground rates for $2 for waterfront and lower campground
I'll
sites.
second that.
Roll call, please.
Patton,
Yes.
Tyrell,
Yes.
Chapman,
Yes.
Tyler.
Yep.
Fox,
Yes.
Shearhart,
Yes.
Drake.
Yes.
13, public comment.
Okay, this is one of the requirements for having a DDA. We'll try to keep it 3 minutes.
Okay.
I'm not asking for anything. Ellie, is this,
Yeah,
I'm gonna do one, but, I've been DDA president, I think, 5 or 6 years. I'm doing
Oh, we did, good job on window night too.
I'm doing at best, a mediocre job at it. As it does open us up for, TIF funding and some grant funding, several years ago. That's part of what paid for the opportunity in downtown. Jim and I went with my officers of the DDA there. Went to a recent, Michigan, what was it called?
So the DDA
It was
Association.
the DDA Association, I'll grab it, so it's great. Learned a lot of stuff that I should be doing, but I'm not doing.
We have a full-time job too.
Yeah. So this is really, so the purpose of the DDA is to manage, comprehensively manage downtown and maximize the local economy. All property value deterioration and increase property tax valuation to eliminate the cause of the deterioration and to promote economic growth and to strengthen the core area that benefits all to try to have that help with economic development down here. The DDA authority relationship with municipality is to serve as a separate entity from the municipalities, both township and village. In a perfect world, in many DDAs, they are supported by a dedicated full-time director. So, just see kind of what's out there. Again, I'm not asking for anything. This ensures that decisions are made by the individual with direct stake in downtown's success, and all efforts are driven by professionally focused on downtown's needs. So some of the things that the DDA has done over the last year or 3, that is cleaned up, just waiting on the last, actually I think the last code was done. So that was sitting there for 13 years as the DDA president. Into called up Bill Ward and said, this is the DDA president, we need some updates on what your action is. So we pushed people to do that and over and waved my flimsy sword and they did. So we did that. Assisted with window night. We funded fireworks training for the Central Lake Fireworks Fund members. So we sent my,
Yeah, you can.
okay, a couple minutes. Several years ago at the pavilion, we recently secured a $500,000 grant to clean up the auto clinic. It's still in the process. That's a conversation for another day. We split it up, started to go in another direction. And I recently attended the Downtown Association meeting. And we got with Elk Rapids, Belmar, exchange business cards. So some reporting requirements if we're ever to be audited. As a DDA, so maintain a website, no, not for all meeting minutes, yes, regular, no, contact info, it's kind of a light green star budget, synopsis, not so much. And I'm including 1 of the 2 informational meetings a year in the last month of the year to show public goals and directions. Halfway there, what we need, more members, more regular meetings. Trustee fellow board member is going to help me with that coming soon. I think the membership with the Michigan Downtown Association, that's what we're on, I think it's $200 a year. We're going to go into that because they've got all the resources we need. And we also want to tie into the master plan of the village and the master plan of the township once one gets created. So that's what we're doing. So you consider yourself, it doesn't need to be hard, just need to do it. So thank you very much. Any questions?
Thanks, Jed. Any other public comment?
Yeah, I'd like to follow on.
Okay.
So obviously, I'm disappointed that you made the decision tonight, general budget will not stay, and no, it shouldn't fund the police department completely. I think $5,000 is a little bit of chunk change. I heard tonight that there hadn't been very many issues this last year because Scott had been controlling it. How many hours is he putting down there? You can do a flat seasonal rate versus an hourly rate. The Torch Lake Township that Scott mentioned, you know, a year ago, and then again this upcoming law enforcement. I mean, y'all look at charging them about $50,000 for hours contracted. Was mentioned contracting with them. I think the campground could fund a little bit more than $5,000 to the village police for patrolling and things like that. By one of the township board members that they decided to contract with the county so they could enforce their ordinances that they held on the books. Because government entities do have to enforce their ordinances somehow, either through contract with the county or the state police, or they themselves can elect themselves to do it. So, and I know that we've a few families that have moved out of this village and the area just in general because housing is quite high here. I know my youngest, who just graduated in 2024, she's not looking to stay here. A lot of these younger kids aren't. You have an older baseline for residents here. I mean, we all die someday. So those are things to keep in mind when you make it. I heard the DDA here has been able to acquire a $500,000 grant to fix up the state home. When we've been trying, the council and John have been trying to get a grant for our water infrastructure that's right there, just so we can meet one of the requirements of that grant to be approved for that grant. I don't think I've gotten or I've heard the latest update. I think Jennifer was here in, was it March or May of this year? Where are we at with that? I get that this stuff is needed, but your tax base is just half and half, like below. And I think, yeah, you can do that general fund thing. You still have to have a public hearing and the people still have to vote on it. I read about that in all my research. So my other thought process is for all of our taxes and take it away from the township, that's something to look into. And then no residents in the village would have to pay township taxes. Since the township has been so unwilling to work with us together as an entity, I think that's something we should look at. I mean, we've asked for matching funds for our annual fireworks show that everybody's enjoyed over 50 years. It just seems like they're unwilling to work with us, and I'm not tired of paying taxes for them if they're not willing to take care of their entire township. To them, anyways.
Thank you, Amy.
Rob. Yeah, I didn't mention in my earlier comments, I was at the village council meeting on Monday, and they discussed possible collaboration with you guys on a police officer. They're looking at selling their police car. It might have actually already gone to auction, except for the fact that they discovered that the radios and some of the other stuff didn't belong to the county, so they have to take that out before they sell their car. But the mayor said that he had not heard what a rate would be of partnering with Central Lake, and we hadn't heard anything back, so the council was like, oh, I'm not sure if Central Lake is interested. So that's where that was left at. Jail in November, and we just had another one now, and I would just say that the county commissioners were informed that you have to be very, very careful about any kind of informational campaign, because we talked about that, and we just decided that we weren't gonna do that. So if someone complains and can construe your information as being encouraging of a yes vote, you can be in legal trouble.
Is that for an elected officer? Can Joe Citizen do that?
You can do that.
I can't.
Sure you can. You're a private citizen.
No, I mean, is it elected,
You can't spend time.
but Joe Citizen can go door to door?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Any one of you can do it privately. You could do it as a private citizen. You could send out whatever you want. Or you could go door to door as a private citizen, but you can't use your village money. If you're sending out a water bill, that's being paid for by the village.
Okay, so we can't put information on our village water bills. Okay.
You can, it just has to be neutral. It has to say, and just, the school sent out a mailing to everybody that just explained what they plan to do with the money, how much it was going to generate, you know, that kind of thing. It can be, you can do it, it just has to be neutral, and we would definitely have to, you know, have our attorney check it out, but probably, might be able to, handle some of that informational stuff, but about how the village is funded and stuff, and I think that's a really valuable, idea. You know, just not even about the village request,
Oops, sorry.
just to the decisions that have to get made and how we're constrained, you know, what, so.
Any other public comment?
I just wanted to say one thing. It sounds like I'm mad at y'all, but I'm not. I know it's a hard position. You're cool.
Number 14, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn. Second. All in favor, say aye.
All right, thank you all for showing up this evening.